everyone! Today we're going to be continuing our watershed unit. More specifically, we're going to be discussing recycling, what it is, what you can and cannot recycle, and how recycling can help benefit our local watersheds. So make sure you have your notebooks out in front of you. Be ready to write down any notes that we go over throughout the lesson. Be ready to answer any questions I may ask, and be ready to write down any questions that you want to ask on our blog, and then we can follow up with them on another day. Okay, so in the past lessons, we've already talked about our watershed, some aspects of it, and a couple of things that can help keep our watersheds healthy. So today we're going to talk about another important concept to keeping our watersheds healthy, and that is recycling. So the big question for today is, how do our choices when recycling impact our shared watershed? So you want to keep this question in mind. Be prepared to discuss your answer to this question after the lesson, because this is what everything is going to relate to. So we see this blue can very often. It's at our homes, it's in our classrooms, it's out in public. So most people can say that when we see this blue can, we think of recycling. Recycling is the process of converting our waste materials, such as plastic bottles or papers, into new materials and objects. And this process can help keep our watersheds clean and healthy by keeping the waste materials out of the watershed. So on the screen now, we have two different circles. Each circle has a list of certain items, and we're going to go over the items in the lists and then decide whether we think they can be recycled or not be recycled. And then at the end, I'm going to reveal which side is recycled and which side is not recycled. So in the first bubble, the green bubble, we have plastic bottles with no lids, cardboard that has not touched food, plastic bags, and only things marked 1 and 2. In the circle on the right, the red circle, we have cardboard that has touched food, chip bags, and styrofoam. So let's go ahead and reveal. So the right circle cannot be recycled, and the left circle can be recycled. So you want to remember plastic bottles without lids can be recycled, but remember to take your lids off. Anything that has touched food cannot be recycled. The food particles and the grease make those materials unrecyclable. And then in our area specifically, only items marked 1 and 2 can be recycled. So some companies actually use this as a marketing tool when they just put the recycling symbol on their products, and then consumers think that they're helping the environment by buying the products with the recycling symbol. However, if the recycling symbol does not have a 1 or 2 in the center of it, those items cannot be recycled. So you want to remember that, share that with your family and friends, and then also remember that things like chip bags, styrofoam containers, items like that cannot be recycled. Okay, so I want you to look at this question and then take a moment to pause this video and answer the question in your notebooks. We will come back to this for further discussion later, so you want to make sure that you have a well thought out answer written down for discussion. So the question is, how does recycling impact our watershed? So go ahead and pause the video and write down your answers, and then once you're finished, go ahead and click play and I'll reveal my answer. So once you have your answer, I'm going to reveal mine. Just because mine may be different from yours doesn't mean yours is incorrect, because recycling can help impact our watershed in many, many ways. So for my answer, recycling can help keep potentially dangerous items out of our watershed. If certain items get into the water can then be polluted, and important habitats within our watershed ecosystem can be damaged. So you can help by recycling. Remember that only materials with number 1 and number 2 can be recycled. And you can also help by spreading the word and letting your family know about what can and can't be recycled, and your friends, because spreading the word is one of the biggest ways that we can help our watersheds. So finally, we're going to do a little review. So go ahead and take a look at these different numbers on the bottom of the screen, and each one correlates with a material that we talked about in the lesson that either can be recycled or cannot be recycled. So I want you to make a list in your notebooks of the items that can be recycled and the items that cannot be recycled. Once you've done that, go ahead and click play once again, and I will show you the items that can and cannot be recycled. So once you have your list, I'm going to go ahead and sort the items, and you can check and make sure that you're right. And if you're wrong, that's okay. Just use it for review and use it to help you remember what can and cannot be recycled. So plastic bottle without lid. I think we said that that could be recycled. So let's see. Yep. An empty chip bag. I don't really remember this one. I think the chip bag can be recycled. So it can't. Remember that empty chip bags cannot be recycled. So that one will go over here. A plastic grocery bag. I believe we said that could. And a greasy pizza box cannot, because remember, anything that has touched food that has grease on it cannot be recycled. So that's the end of our mini lesson on recycling. I want you to go ahead and post any questions that you have on the blog. If you don't have any questions, you just want to make a statement about how your family recycles or how you recycle, that's fine too.